Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a spine-chilling series of Reddit horror stories that'll have you looking over your shoulder. From a creepy family blocking a dark road to a sociopath's terrifying manipulation, these tales range from unsettling to downright horrifying. We've got 5 stories lined up, each one creepier than the last. So grab a blanket, lock your doors, and let's get started with our first tale. A late-night drive that turned into a nightmare. Stick around to the end for my thoughts and a poll you won't want to miss. Our first story comes from a woman in Nebraska who thought she was just driving to a friend's house until she ran into something straight out of a horror movie. Picture a pitch black road, a creepy cemetery nearby, and a family that shouldn't be there. Let's dive in. I'm 25 now, but back in 2018 or 2019, when I was 18 or 19, I was living in Nebraska's biggest city, surrounded by endless corn and wheat fields. The city was growing, and rich people were building massive houses on the edge of town, where fields met suburbs. My friend's parents owned one of those huge properties, and we were always there, riding 4x4s, chilling in their hot tub, or binging reality TV in their giant living room. His parents were chill, letting us drink if we stayed over. It was a blast, but I've always been terrified of the dark. Their place had barely any outdoor lighting, and the nearest neighbor was a mile away, so I stayed inside after sunset. Driving there at night gave me the creeps. But nothing weird happened until one night. The road to their place was a twisty 2-lane path, thick trees on both sides, passing one of the city's biggest cemeteries. Hardly any street lamps, no cars. It felt haunted. I'd speed through to get it over with. That night, perfect spring weather, windows down, music blasting. Around 10 p.m., I'm rounding a curve when BAM! I slam on the brakes. 50 yards ahead, in the middle of the road, is a family. Pitch black road, forest all around. Just my headlights. There's 3, maybe 4 people. A tall, slim woman, an average guy, a kid around 8 with short hair, and the woman's pushing a stroller. Normal clothes, not fancy or torn, but no flashlights, no phones. They were walking in total darkness. They're in a single line, center of the road, facing away, heading my way. I turn off my music, silence. No talking, no footsteps. Goosebumps everywhere. I stop, expecting them to move. They don't. They don't even glance at my headlights. I'm freaking out, thinking I'm dreaming. It's so wrong, so unreal. Then, all at once, they stop walking and slowly turn to face me like a horror movie. I don't wait to see their faces. Panic hits. I reverse, flooring it for 20 seconds, whip a U-turn, nearly crash and speed away. One thing sticks. The stroller looked empty. It's burned in my brain. I've never been that scared. I checked my rearview mirror 1,000 times until the main road. No sign of them. Never saw them again. I told my friend's family, but they looked at me like I was crazy. People think I'm nuts, lying, or they've had similar experiences. I don't care if you believe me. It was the creepiest moment of my life. Prank? Robbery setup? Something darker? I tell myself it's a prank, but I'm not sure. Holy cow, what a story. That empty stroller? Ugh, nightmare fuel. I think it's a creepy prank, but that synchronized turn feels supernatural. I'd never drive that road again. What do you think? Prank, setup, or paranormal? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm reading every one, but hold on to your seats because we're not done. Up next, a late night walk home turns terrifying when a van starts circling a young woman. This one's got quick thinking and a bluff that might have saved her life. Let's dive right in. Alright, our second story is about a 19-year-old coming home late in a sketchy neighborhood. Picture 11:15 p.m., a guy in a yellow shirt waving creepily and a knock at the door with a lie that chills you to the bone. Grab your headphones, maybe lock your doors, and let's get into it. I was 19, living with my mom in a ranch-style house on a lonely road backing up to a field with a highway on the other side. Half a mile away was a weird farmer, a mile the other way a sketchy crack house, but they kept to themselves. We were isolated. I juggled full-time work and college with one class ending at 10:30 p.m. That night, I got home around 11:15. Driving home, I see a guy walking. Bright yellow shirt, track pants, goofy outfit, but it stuck. People walked because of the crack house, but he felt off. As I pass, he smiles and waves. Creepy as hell. I speed home, lock my car, check doors and windows, and sit on the couch watching for him to pass. He doesn't. Instead, he and another guy in dark clothes walk up my driveway, messing with my car, trying handles. My heart's racing. I forgot my phone in the car. Yellow shirt guy heads to my door. I wake my mom, half asleep. Guy's outside. We hear the doorknob turn. Dead bolted. Thank God. Knock knock. Porch lights on. Mom goes to the door. I perch on the couch to see him and his buddy by my car. Yeah, Mom says. You dropped your wallet, he says. It's in my purse. Mom says, I've got my wallet and it's too late to knock. His reply haunts me. Okay, I'm not a bad guy, just so you know. So calm, so creepy. Nobody moves. Porch light goes off. He tries the knob again. Mom, get the phone, call the cops. My phone's in the car, so she grabs hers from the kitchen. She hands it to me, checks the bathroom window, and says, one in our backyard, too. She'd seen a third guy. She grabs her Ruger. I'm shaking, on with 911 watching the front guys. Mom, gun in hand. If he tries the handle again, I'm shooting. No idea why she didn't wait for cops, but they bolt toward the crack house. Mom sees the backyard guy sprint after them. I tell the dispatcher, cops search our house, yard, and the crack house, finding 5 guys including yellow shirt. They got arrested. Nothing like that happened again, but I was on edge for months. Even now, in a nicer area, I check locks. Wow, that was intense. That I'm not a bad guy line? Horror movie vibes. Props to Mom for scaring them off. I think they were casing the house for a break-in. What do you think? Creeps or worse? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Next up, a late night walk in a rough city turns into a near kidnapping when a van won't stop following a woman. Her quick thinking might have saved her life. Let's get into it. Our third story comes from a 26-year-old woman who thought she was untouchable until a van started tailing her on a dark street. Picture a rough city, 2 creepy guys, and a split-second bluff that changes everything. Here we go. 3 years ago, I was 26, 5'5", curvy, bleach blonde, wearing black tights and a pink crop top, walking home late from a friend's house in a rough part of a big city. I'd handled sketchy situations before, so I felt invincible, always staying alert. About 10 minutes from my apartment, a van starts tailing me. This wasn't new. Guys often propositioned women in that area. I crossed the road to walk against traffic, but not scared. The van turned down a side street, then pulled up beside me. I wasn't fazed yet. It happened before, no matter what I wore. I said firmly, I'm not interested. 2 men inside, dark complexion, dark eyes, short hair, maybe brothers. The van didn't move. Annoyed, I crossed the road again. They kept circling back every time I crossed. I'd never had to work this hard to shake someone, and that's when I got scared. They sped by, matching traffic. I yelled, fuck off. 3 minutes passed, no van. I thought I was clear, pulling out my phone to call my sister. Then the van screeched up. One guy jumped out, opened the back door, and charged at me, like he was about to grab me and throw me in. The street was dead. Perfect timing for them. I tilted my phone and said, you're being filmed on my live video chat. I gave your license plate to my friends and the police are notified. I was terrified but stayed calm. The guy froze, weighing if I was bluffing. I tilted the phone more like I was showing a fake audience. He jumped back in the van and they sped off. I've never been the same. I'm scared to walk alone, even in daylight. Those creeps in the van. Let's never meet. Whew, that was terrifying. Her bluff was genius, but my heart was pounding. I think they were planning to abduct her. What do you think? Opportunists or worse? Share in the comments. Next, a teen in a small town almost gives a ride to someone way more dangerous than they realized. This one's got a twist that'll shock you. Let's dive in. Our fourth story takes us to a gas station in rural Florida in 1990, where a 15-year-old helping their dad gets a creepy visitor. Picture a stranger walking from the interstate and a gut feeling that saves a life. Here it is. In 1990, I was 15, living in a tiny central Florida town. My dad, a retired Army vet, worked at gas stations for fun. I'd help stock coolers or run the register. Small town vibe, so the owners didn't care. I just got my learner's permit, so Dad let me drive him to work for practice. One night, I'm at a table by the windows reading, sipping Mountain Dew, snacks nearby. Suddenly, something catches my eye. A woman walking up the parking lot from I-75. Concerned. Super weird, nobody walked there, especially from the interstate. I figured her car broke down. Wrong. Uneasy. She comes in, looks around, and I get a creepy vibe. She tells Dad she's stranded and needs a ride to Ocala. Dad says he's working, can't help. She looks at me. Dad subtly shakes his head no. She asked if I can drive her. Dad says I've only got a learner's permit, can't drive her and return. Normally I'd have done it, even illegally, but Dad's acting off. Not chatty, almost curt. He later said he got a bad vibe the second he saw her. She cusses him out, slams the door so hard I thought the glass would break, and storms back toward the interstate's northbound ramp. I watch her go. A year later, I'm in my room when Dad yells, "Get in here!" He's pointing at a TV mugshot. It's her. Aileen Wuornos, serial killer, later executed. I almost gave her a ride. I still have nightmares about what could have happened. Whoa! Chills. Dodging Aileen Wuornos? Insane. Dad's instincts were spot on. Thoughtful. What do you think? think? Just bad luck, or was she targeting them? Comment below. Our final story is a slow burn nightmare about dating someone who seemed perfect until they revealed their true colors. This one's heavy, so brace yourself. Let's go. Our last story is a chilling warning about who you meet online. Picture a whirlwind romance that turns into manipulation and abuse, leaving a woman questioning everything. Trigger warning. This includes graphic depictions of manipulation and abuse. Here's the story. In 2018, I was 28, ending a rocky marriage. My ex-husband and I were polyamorous, and I met Jez, 42, on OkCupid. We hit it off fast. After weeks of talking, we met at a restaurant, then he met my husband. They got along, so Jez and I started dating. He was perfect, sweet, attentive, showering me with gifts and validation. He worshipped my strength, listened to every thought. It felt like we'd been searching for each other forever. Weeks in, he freaked out about my polyamory, saying he couldn't share me. I respected his boundary and let him go. A week later, he sent flowers to my work, begging to try again. We resumed dating. Long nights, talking, laughing, planning. It was effortless, like puzzle pieces. By August, my marriage ended, and by October, my husband moved out. I couldn't afford my place alone, so Jez offered to move in after 4 months. I hesitated. Things change when you live together, but he was amazing. How bad could it be? I was so wrong. He changed overnight. Controlling, jealous, lazy, not the man I knew. He guilt-tripped me about seeing friends, huffed if I included him. At my work Christmas party, he grumbled insults all night, then snapped at my manager's praise, saying, "You don't fucking know me." Outside, I called him out. He half apologized, but the drive home was silent. I worried I'd messed up. He invalidated my experiences, saying I was too young to understand. The man who'd validated me now snapped at every question. Why ask about my day? I don't want to talk shop. Breakfast? Snapped at. He refused to discuss exes, but later mocked me, saying he'd never have dated me back then, and I was lucky he lowered his standards. He accused me of catfishing as I gained weight, broke from lending him money, faulting there was. When a friend died by suicide, Jez shrugged, "That's what he gets for LSD," and grilled me about our last contact. I broke up with him after he raged at me at work over my dog's anxiety, calling me a shitty girlfriend. He crawled on his knees to my boss. "She's the love of my life." I stayed with my boss, took my valuables. He apologized, psychoanalyzing himself. Like an idiot, I took him back. He guilted me over the breakup, saying I'd ruined his reputation. At a gas station, a couple helped with my broken car. Jez arrived, snapped at them, "She's fine." The man, "Are you okay? Call if you need help." I've thought of them often. It got worse. One night, during an argument, he blasted the TV, walls shaking. I begged him to stop. He mocked my tears, calling me poor baby. He followed me to my room, punched a door inches from my head, eyes cold, a warning. I had a panic attack, my ex-husband's violence flooding back. Jez mocked me, then threatening to leak my social security number online. I snapped, screaming like a banshee for him to leave. My landlord changed the locks, gave me a cop's contact, and cut my rent. Jez sent apology videos for weeks, love bombing. I didn't block him, fearing he'd show up. He finally stopped, saying he'd always love me. I left him on red. Years later, I asked what happened to the man I loved. He smirked. He doesn't exist. I lied to get you away from your husband. You're just stupid. Jez, let's never meet. Wow, that was gut-wrenching. Jez sounds like a textbook sociopath. I'm so glad she escaped. What do you think? Was he a master manipulator from the start, or did he unravel over time? Share in the comments. What a wild ride these stories were. From that eerie family to Jez's chilling smirk, I'm shook. My MVP? The mom with the gun in story 2. Badass. Which story creeped you out most? Comment below, and if you've got a spooky tale, share it. I might feature it. Smash the like button if you got chills, and subscribe with the bell for more Reddit horror. Check the poll. Which story was creepiest? Vote and let's see. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, and maybe avoid dark roads and shady dates. Peace.